Full name: Christopher Powell alias Captain America, by Zach Craig, by U. TF1, ch.7, Determinant: Duke Eccleston, Rose Thornpark role: Mr. President, Deborah, by U. TF3, ch.15, Determinant: Mr. Maine, by Caitlin, TF, SI, Chapter Point 2, Captain Chris, by U. TS1, ch.3, Captain Powell by Caitlin, TS1, Chapter Point 4, President Powell by U. TS2, Chapter Point 13, Eye color: blue, hair color: brown, family: unnamed grandmother, Frank Powell father, Barb Powell mother, Kyle Powell brother, AJ Powell sister. Your character: fiancé. Determinant: romances: Nicole, ex-girlfriend, Becca Davenport, formerly. Status: alive. Titles: Hartfeld Knights captain, formerly. Student council president, formerly. Series info: Series: The freshman, the sophomore, the junior, the senior. First appearance: TF Book 1, Chapter 1. Last appearance: The senior, Chapter 15. Les, Chris, a character in the freshman, the sophomore, the junior, and the senior series, was a student at Hartfeld and a member of Hartfeld's football team Knights. In Book 2, Chapter 14, he was elected as the Full name: Christopher Powell alias Captain America, by Zach Craig, by U. TF1, ch.7, Determinant: Duke Eccleston, Rose Thornpark role: Mr. President, Deborah, by U. TF3, ch.15, Determinant: Mr. Maine, by Caitlin, TF, SI, Chapter Point 2, Captain Chris, by U. TS1, ch.3, Captain Powell by Caitlin, TS1, Chapter Point 4, President Powell by U. TS2, Chapter Point 13, Eye color: blue, hair color: brown, family: unnamed grandmother, Frank Powell father, Barb Powell mother, Kyle Powell brother, AJ Powell sister. Your character: fiancé. Determinant: romances: Nicole, ex-girlfriend, Becca Davenport, formerly. Status: alive. Titles: Hartfeld Knights captain, formerly. Student council president, formerly. Series info: Series: The freshman, the sophomore, the junior, the senior. First appearance: TF Book 1, Chapter 1. Last appearance: The senior, Chapter 15. Les, Chris, a character in the freshman, the sophomore, the junior, and the senior series, was a student at Hartfeld and a member of Hartfeld's football team Knights. In Book 2, Chapter 14, he was elected as the student council president. He is also one of your love interests. He graduated in the senior, Chapter 15. He is first seen in the freshman, Book 1, Chapter 1. At NN. Learn more. Sponsored by Arizona Financial. Your free checking just got a $319.36 bonus ready for a bank that pays you? Open a free checking account with AZ Financial and get $319.36. At NN. Advertisement. Appearance: Chris is tall, has an extremely muscular body, blue eyes, short brown hair, straight white teeth, fair skin, and a bit of stubble. He usually wears a red or white shirt. In the sophomore, his hair was down to his neck, with a few strands falling over his face. He wears a green long-sleeved shirt. In the sophomore, you can give him a makeover that either returns him to his freshman look, keeps his sophomore look, or gives him a new look. In this new look, his hair is slightly longer and slicked back at the top, and faded on the sides. He wears blue jeans and a red plaid button-up under a tan knit sweater. He will keep the look you choose throughout the junior and the senior. Personality: Chris is a nice guy who doesn't mean any harm. Unfortunately, he is also quite clumsy and impressionable due to his low self-confidence. As a result, he unwittingly does careless things that hurt people he cares about. Background: according to Chris, he fell in with the wrong crowd in high school, culminating in stealing a car. By the time he arrived at Hartfeld, he had 7 crimes on his record. Fortunately, the football coach offered him a chance to join the team, which sparked his love for the sport. Advertisement: The freshman. The freshman, Book 1. When your character arrives in Hartfeld, she bumps into Chris. Chris is on the football team and has a sports scholarship, but at first, he just sits on the bench unless someone is injured. However, after Darren, the star of the team, gets injured, Chris takes his place. Unfortunately, this attracts the attention of Kappa Phi Sigma sisters Becca and Madison. After she flirts relentlessly with him, Becca and Chris start dating. Chris doesn't seem very happy about the situation, especially with your character around. Your roommates are also upset with him because he keeps ditching them to hang out with Becca, even on Caitlin's birthday. Later, Chris dumps Becca and asks for your forgiveness. He then becomes a potential date for the formal. The Freshman, Book 2. In The Freshman, Book 2, if you went to the formal with him, you have the opportunity to kiss him. At the party, he tells you that he feels very useless since football season is over. Your character is able to calm him down and convince him to play a part in James' play. It is implied that Becca is still romantically interested in him at this point, as she seems jealous when you flirt or chat with him. Also, you and Becca compete for the role of Chris' love interest during the auditions. Advertisement. Chapters. The Freshman. Book 1. Chapter 1. Welcome to Hartfeld University. Chapter 2. Rooftop Games. Chapter 3. The Assistant. Chapter 4. The All-Nighter. Chapter 5. Game Day. Chapter 6. Kappa House Party. Chapter 7. Rush Week. Chapter 8. On the Hunt, mentioned. Chapter 9. Sorority Ball, Part 1. Chapter 10. Sorority Ball, Part 2 mentioned. Chapter 11: The Birthday Girl, Part 1. Chapter 12. The Birthday Girl, Part 2. Chapter 13. The Birthday Girl, Part 3. Chapter 15. The Professor's Daughter. Chapter 16. Last Call. Chapter 17. The Hartfeld Formal. Chris. Luxury Getaway. Chapter 1. Chris. Luxury Getaway. The Freshman. Snowed In. Chapter 1. Snowed In. Chapter 2. Snow Worries. Book 2. Chapter 1. Winter in Hartfeld. Chapter 2. Welcome Back Party. Chapter 3. Auditions. Chapter 4. Playing the Part. Chapter 5. Stage Kiss. Chapter 6. The Cast Party. Chapter 7. The Talk. Chapter 8. The Hospital. Chapter 9. Just Friends. Chapter 10. Ballot Boxing. Chapter 11: Visitors. Chapter 12. The Debate. Chapter 13. Swing Vote 60s. Chapter 14. Inauguration Night. Chapter 15. Setting Sail. Book 3. Chapter 1. New Leaves. Chapter 2. A Place to Belong. Chapter 3. New Kid on the Block. Chapter 4. Budgetary Concerns. Chapter 5. Bad Reputation. Chapter 6. A Kappa Birthday. Chapter 7. Rebel with a Cause. Chapter 8. Misadventures in Babysitting, Determinant. Chapter 9. Until We Meet Again. Determinant. Chapter 10. Caught in the Middle. Chapter 11: Rock Roll Hartfeld. Chapter 12. Flirting with Disaster. Chapter 13. California Dreaming, Determinant. Chapter 14. Karma Chameleon. Chapter 15. Take a Chance on Me. Chapter 16. Never Gonna Give You Up. Chapter 17. Don't You Forget About Me. Book 4. Chapter 1. Rockin' Down the Highway mentioned. Chapter 2. Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay. Chapter 3. Summer Wine. Chapter 4. Can't Buy Me Love. Chapter 5. Born to Be Wild. Chapter 6. Hungry Like the Wolf. Chapter 7. Bad Moon Rising. Chapter 8. Stand By Me. The Freshman, Game of Love. Chapter 1. May the Best Couple Win, Determinant. Chapter 2. Everyone's a Winner. The Freshman, Love Bites. Chapter 1. The Bite. Chapter 2. Blood Wanted. The Sophomore. Book 1. Chapter 1. Semi-Charmed Life. Chapter 2. Carry Me Home. Chapter 3. Runaround. Chapter 4. Bills, Bills, Bills. Chapter 5. Party Up. Chapter 6. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Chapter 7. Livin' La Vida Loca. Chapter 8. I Want It That Way. Chapter 9. Barbie Girls, Determinant. Chapter 10. Animal Instinct. Chapter 11: Sabotage, Determinant. Chapter 12. Get What You Give. Chapter 13. You Oughta Know. Chapter 14. Unbreak My Heart. Chapter 15. Bittersweet Symphony. Chapter 16. Baby One More Time. Chapter 17. It's the End of the World as We Know It. Book 2. Chapter 1. Hanging by a Moment. Chapter 2. Everything Will Be Alright. Chapter 3. Independent Woman, mentioned. Chapter 4. Come Away With Me. Chapter 5. Take a Bow. Chapter 6. Daddy Wasn't There. Chapter 7. Try Again. Chapter 8. Family Affairs. Chapter 9. Bye Bye Bye. Chapter 10. Get the party started. Chapter 11: Beautiful Day. Chapter 12. Just Dance. Chapter 13. You Got It Bad. Chapter 14. Graduation. Friends Forever. Chapter 15. Not Ready to Make Nice, Determinant. The Sophomore Heartfelt Horror Story. Chapter 2. I Know What You Did Last Quarter. The Junior. Book 1. Chapter 1. Live While We're Young. Chapter 2. A Head Full of Dreams, Determinant. Chapter 3. Shake It Off, Off-Screen. Physical Appearance Determinant. Chapter 4. We Can't Stop. Chapter 5. Somebody That I Used to Know, Determinant. Chapter 6. Problem. Chapter 7. We Are Young. Chapter 9. Pray You Catch Me, Determinant. Chapter 10. Set Fire to the Rain. Determinant. Chapter 11: Sorry, Determinant. Chapter 12. Rolling in the Deep. Chapter 13. Look What You Made Me Do. The Senior. The Senior. Chapter 1. Don't Stop Me Now, Determinant. Chapter 2. Year of the Cat. Chapter 3. Atomic Punk, Determinant. Chapter 4. Mr. Blue Sky. Chapter 5. The Jungle Line, Determinant. Chapter 7. Hooked on a Feeling, Determinant. Chapter 8. Video Killed the Radio Star. Chapter 9. Rebel Rebel. Chapter 10. Imagine. Chapter 11: Go Your Own Way, Determinant. Chapter 12. Don't Go Breaking My Heart, Determinant. Chapter 13. London Calling, Determinant. Chapter 14. Come and Get Your Love. Chapter 15. Changes. Advertisement. Relationships. Your character. @NN. Sword Out Walker Award. Chris is the first person your character meets when she arrives at Hartfeld, and a love interest for her. They turn out to be roommates. He seems very attracted to her, but is still dealing with his recent breakup with his ex-girlfriend. In The Freshman, Book 2, they work on James' play together, and she helps him with his campaign when he runs for student council president. In The Sophomore, Book 1 and Book 2, your character can help him gain confidence in his new position as captain of the football team. In Book 2, Chapter 12, if his confidence is high enough, he will give her a Sword Out Walker Award as a token of his appreciation. If your character has been dating Chris since the beginning of the Freshman series, you will celebrate your 1-year anniversary in The Sophomore in Book 2, Chapter 4. If you are dating him, he will ask you to move in with him in Chapter 15. In The Junior, if you are dating him, you live in an apartment with Chris. In The Senior, Chapter 15, if you are dating Chris, he will propose marriage to you. If you decide to accept your job offer in London, he will move to England with you. If you decline the job offer in London, are single, or are dating someone else, he will continue to live his dream of playing for the Nightingales. Becca. In the first chapter of The Freshman, Book 1, Becca is rude to your character, which gives you a chance to see the little affection she has for Chris. They date for a while, then Chris dumps her to pursue your character. By the time Becca moves into Vasquez's old house with Chris and the rest of your friends, the two have almost forgotten that they were involved, and live together without any romantic tension at all. Nicole. Chris dated his ex, Nicole, for 3 years before coming to Hartfeld. He was very much in love with her, but she broke up with him when they went to different colleges. In The Freshman, Book 1, Chris hasn't gotten over this loss, and just wants to have some fun in his freshman year to forget about her. If asked, Chris says that Nicole was his first girlfriend, unless he counts the girl he picked flowers for in kindergarten. Family. Chris' mother works in the clothing industry and his father, Frank, was a truck driver. He has a 10-year-old brother, Kyle, and an 8-year-old sister, AJ. He loves his family, but has a hard time talking about his father, who left them when he was 10 years old. In The Sophomore, Book 2, Chapter 6, Frank Powell appears and asks Chris to be his father again. Chris is unsure, but finally gives his father a chance to get to know him and his sister, AJ. He cuts his father off when he learns that Frank is not ready to be a father at all. Manny De La Cruz. In The Sophomore, Book 1, Chris and Manny are supposed to be roommates, but they don't get along very well. Chris mentions that Manny has kicked him out of their room several times so that Manny can be with his girlfriend. This leads to Chris moving in with your character and your friends. Despite Chris being the football captain, Manny has a low opinion of Chris, and is upset when Chris threatens to bench him and Zig for the first game of the season. His behavior causes Chris to doubt his own leadership abilities. After you and Zig tell him about Manny's unwanted advances towards Zig, he finally sides with you, and tries to have Manny removed from the football team. Advertisement. Gallery. Other looks. @NN. Freshman outfit. @NN. Shirtless. @NN. Makeover. @NN. Spring look. Larger view. NN. Football uniform. NN. Party outfit. NN. Spring look. NN. Sophomore outfit. NN. Shirtless. NN. Football uniform W main attraction makeover. NN. Tux. NN. Full view of Chris's suit. NN. Main attraction outfit. NN. Chris is Chad in heartfelt horror story. NN. Chris is Chad shirtless in Twombly's horror story. NN. Full view of sophomore outfit. NN. Football uniform. NN. Halloween costume. NN. Chris is the butler during the murder mystery dinner. NN. Main attraction makeover. NN. The freshman makeover. NN. Shirtless. NN. Alternate Chris underwear. NN. Underwear. NN. Full view of swimsuit. NN. Chris W makeover look in tux. NN. Graduation. NN. Graduation main attraction makeover. NN. Alternate Chris in swimsuit. NN. Alternate Chris in swimsuit. NN. Graduation the freshman makeover. Miscellaneous. NN. Chris on the Choices app. NN. Chris on the cover of the freshman. Book 1. NN. Chris on the cover of Chris. Luxury getaway. NN. Chris on the cover of the freshman. Game of Love. Version 2. Redesign James. NN. Chris's championship ring. NN. Chris phone on the floor. NN. Ad for the freshman featuring Chris and MC. NN. Chris on the cover of the freshman. Book 4. NN. Chris on the cover of the freshman. Game of Love. Version 1. NN. Chris on the cover of the sophomore. Heartfelt horror story. NN. An award by Chris given to MC. NN. Chris's engagement ring. NN. Gonna miss Sig and the rest of TF gang. Advertisement. Trivia. He appears on the covers of The Freshman, Book 1, The Freshman, Book 4, Chris, Luxury Getaway, The Freshman, Game of Love, and The Sophomore, Heartfelt Horror Story, and the former app icon for Choices, along with Dave Reyes from Most Wanted, and Kenna from The Crown and The Flame. His appearance in the icon is different from his appearance in the game. His eye color is green in the icon, but it's blue in the game. He bears a resemblance to actors Chris Pine, Robert Buckley, and Chase Crawford. The name Christopher is of Greek origin and means to bear Christ. The surname Powell is of Welsh origin and means child of an eminent person. His secret talent is flower arranging. He worked several odd jobs in high school, including an apprenticeship with a florist. Chris' ultimate fantasy is to rescue a girl from a burning building. Ironically, his Halloween costume in heartfelt horror story is a fireman. He is from Cherryfield, Maine. In Helen Twombly's story in the sophomore, heartfelt horror story, he is renamed Chad and portrayed as a stereotypical jock. You can also play as him for one choice in Chapter 2. In Chapter 5 of The Freshman, Book 1, Zach first refers to him as Captain America to your character. As the series progresses, he refers to him simply as Cap. If you choose to go to the zoo with him, AJ, and Frank Powell in the sophomore, Book 2, Chapter 8, it is revealed that Chris has been afraid of snakes ever since the snake pit scene in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. In Chapter 15 of the sophomore, Book 2, if you are dating him, or if you are single, he will be the one who gets in the car with Tyler and Abby. If MC is dating James, Chris is neither seen nor credited as being present in the chapter. In this case, it is only revealed in the junior, Chapter 1, that he was present. Like Flynn O'Malley from Veil of Secrets, Chris is responsible for stealing a car before the start of their respective stories. The only difference is that Flynn went to jail for 6 years, while Chris only got the misdemeanor and a criminal record, but no jail time. He is a certified skydiving instructor, which was revealed in the senior, Chapter 4. He reveals to your character, if he's your love interest in the senior, Chapter 14, that he's not bad at soccer. In the senior, Chapter 15, he receives a Bachelor of Science degree and graduates with a major in political science.